Have you noticed that people just don't care that much about their website anymore? It's not that they don't care at all. It's just that they don't care that much. So if you start talking about prices over like $1,000, people begin to think, wow, that's just way out of my price, or that's too much. And you want to know how to 10x the value that people see in their websites? Context. It's not sexy, but it's got teeth. Remember that line? I got that line from The Firm. Remember when Tom Cruise, like I think Mitch in the movie, he gets this entire corrupt law firm convicted on mail fraud, and they like the FBI agent or whatever at the end of the thing was like, why did he do that? You know, he's like, well, it's not sexy, but it's got teeth. And so like the whole law firm goes to jail on mail fraud. Well, this is sort of like that. It's not flashy, it's not fancy, it's not some kind of new tool or whatever, but I guarantee it will more than 10x the value that your clients see in their website when you begin to show them that the website is this central hub that brings in the traffic and the leads and the clients for their business. For example, if you're going to get traffic, where are you going to put the traffic? Where are you going to send the traffic without your website? Your Twitter feed or your X feed or whatever? It's like, you got to have a website. And where are you going to get leads from? Where are you going to put your email opt-in forms and stuff like that if you don't have a website? And like, where is the call to action? Like when you send out emails and have people do stuff, where's all that going to go to if you don't have a website? So when you begin to show people the context, it opens up people's eyes and they think, yeah, I really want the traffic. I really want the leads. I want the clients. I want the extra revenue. I want all of that stuff. And then they see that the website is this crucial component. It's the central hub of, like, everything runs through that. I'll give you another example. Do you remember the scene in Back to the Future 3 when Doc and Marty are like digging the time machine out of this cave where it was hidden? And they're sitting in there looking at this time machine, and Doc's got this big magnifying glass and some tweezers, and he's holding up this little computer chip, and he's like, it's amazing that this little piece of junk is such a big problem.
Unbelievable that this little piece of junk could be such a big problem.
And so if you were to see that just in isolation, this like the little computer chip thing just kind of sitting on the ground, probably wouldn't even notice it. It's just sitting there doing nothing. It's a piece of junk. But when you realize that the entire time machine requires that little piece of junk in order to work, it's suddenly a really big problem. And that's the idea with context and web design. But in order to bring this to life, you have to have a niche. You can't do it generically. And I'll show you why, because the 3 steps in order to show the context and to more than 10x the value that people see in their own websites, the first step is you have to know the details of your client's business. You have to know what they want. You have to know in detail specifically, are they looking for memberships, appointments, immediate calls for service? Do they need somebody to buy something online? Is it e-commerce related? Like, you have to know what that is. So you have to understand the business itself. That's thing number 1. Thing number 2, you also need to know, how do I get that business in front of their customers? So you have to have access to those people too. And then once you know who your client is and who their customers are, then you put yourself in the middle with your skills to bridge that gap. You're the bridge between the client and the customer. And once you make that link and show people that your skills and your expertise and your knowledge, you know how to actually connect them with their customers, they're suddenly going to be like, wow, you're the lifeblood to my whole business. I've got to have you. That's how that works. So let me give you a couple more examples too. Should you build a Yelp page for your clients? Well, it depends, right? It depends on this step right over here. What kind of client is it? Well, if it's some kind of like in-person kind of shop business thing, yeah, build a Yelp page. If it's an online-only business, e-commerce, a SaaS business or whatever, probably not a good idea. What about Healthgrades? Should you get your clients listed in Healthgrades? Healthgrades is an online business directory for doctors. So if you're working with real estate agents, probably not. If you're working with doctors, definitely so. Now, it's a smaller business directory than like a Google Business Profile, but the leads are a lot hotter. Like, nobody goes over to Healthgrades just to browse for fun or whatever, right? It's, I need a doctor. I need the doctor now. Where can I find one? Shouldn't your doctor be showing up for searches like that? But there's the thing. It's like, you have to know that you're working with doctors, and you have to know that that your clients' customers hang out in Healthgrades, and then you put yourself in the middle as not only the person who actually just knows that, just knowing that one thing is a big deal, but you can also actually set up the profile and make it look good and link back to the website and help them get reviews and like all of the other stuff that you can do through online marketing. But that's the whole point. Like, when you show people the context, it just opens up so much stuff. Here, a couple other things. Should you let your client do bookings from their Google Business Profile? Not if it's a SaaS company, right? So it's like, again, you can't even pick what you're going to do until you know these other 2 things. You have to know what kind of business your client has and where their customers are, and then you put yourself in the middle with your skills. And that's how you get that custom niche that's perfect for you. So I can't sit here and say, hey, go work with chiropractors. Because maybe that's not your forte. Maybe you don't know anything about that. Maybe you know stuff about real estate instead. Maybe you know stuff about photography. Maybe you know stuff about fitness and health coaches or whatever. It's like, I can't tell you what niche to pick, but I can show you how to pick the niche. So that's why I put together this entire course. It's totally free. I thought about putting it here on YouTube, but it's like almost a half an hour long. I feel like it's too long for a YouTube video. And there's also other videos related to it. So if you just go to lead.blue/leads, it's basically like 20 years of secrets that I put together to help you pick the right niche for you. And it's totally free. You don't have to buy anything. It's just to help you pick the niche. And once you go through that system, you will be so much farther ahead than basically all the other web designers that you'll be able to get so many leads that don't even feel fair because you know the thing. Like, you know the bridge. You know who your client is. You know who their customers are and where they're located. And you can put yourself and your skills in the middle to bridge that gap. And if you're not doing that, what else are you going to do? I mean, I've been talking to people that are like offering free site audits and SEO audits or low-cost websites or websites on subscriptions. People are thinking of everything they can possibly think of, and none of it is working when you get the price up significantly over $1,000. And I'm landing clients over here like $10,000. Like, I send out this trophy to people when you start landing $10,000 clients. So we're like 10xing the value of the way people see their websites. But it's not that they're seeing the value in the website by themselves. They're seeing the context. It's traffic, leads, clients, new revenue streams, like higher value clients, more repeat business. Like, all of those types of things are really important. But you don't know how to implement that for somebody until you know what their business is all about and where their clients are and how your skills bridge that gap. It's a very customized thing, which is why I really highly recommend checking out this video. It's totally free. Just jump in there. It's like 8 different videos. The top one is like 25, 30 minutes long that really gives it like the nitty gritty niche mastery secrets of how to figure all this stuff out. And just go through that. I can't describe the degree to which it just turns the tables on your whole business. Like, everything will change with regard to how you talk about your business, what you say on your website, the pricing, the packaging, how you target people. Like, everything about your business changes. And if you don't do it, you're probably just stuck holding your breath, waiting for referrals and hoping that clients come in willy-nilly from somewhere. And I'm not saying turn that off. Like, if you get referrals, keep getting the referrals. But wouldn't it also be nice to have some way to kind of go out and get your own leads when the referrals are kind of not coming in the way that they used to? Well, the best way that I know how to do it is this niche mastery system. And for the last 10 years or more, that's the primary way I've been getting leads for my web design business, which is why I'm making significantly more than 6 figures working out of my house with a laptop. And you can do it too. But you have to pick the niche. You can't, I really feel strongly about the fact that you can't hit these high value clients generically anymore. And that it really requires a specialization. And I think that's a huge reason why we're making 6 figures working out of our houses with laptops. Now, I've got other reasons too. So check this video out right here, and I'll give you 5 more reasons why you can make 6 figures working out of your house with a laptop.